Welcome back, everybody. We are here at the Vanguard Ranch. I am Jackie Veloce, and I'd like to introduce my next guest, Alex Rojas. Nice to see you again.
How you doing, Jackie?
I'm good. How are you? He provides us color commentary at our live shows, and he also made our Break the Chains belt. So I want to get into that a little bit and talk about the making of it, the meaning behind it, and how important it is for you.
Okay, yeah. The Break the Chains title was a very special thing because, I mean, I don't know how much people know about it, but what it is, it's not a title that's necessarily tied down to pure Vanguard wrestling.
Yeah. Right.
It transcends that. It's not about brands. It's not about companies. It's not about promotions. It's not about territories. It's about struggle and overcoming that and perseverance.
Yeah.
The words, adaptability and determination and accountability are on the belt for a reason, because they're a reminder to the person who carries that belt, the importance, and the burden that it is to represent a cause.
Absolutely.
Right? The Break the Chains title doesn't necessarily represent a wrestling promotion, but it represents the sacrifice and the love and the art of the business. All the things that are beautiful and all the things that are ugly.
Yeah. So it's bigger than the brand.
It's definitely bigger than the brand. It's bigger than the individual, and it's bigger than the business.
Wow.
It was a great conversation that actually led to the creation of the Break the Chains belt. Me and the commissioner, we sat down one day, and it was supposed to be a brief 10-15 minute conversation, and it turned out to be this 6-hour bonding session between us, and we had so many similar views on things, and also so many differences. Yeah. That just turned out to be complementary. And we came together with this concept, and to me personally, my dear friend Big Jim Anderson was a big part of the inspiration for the Break the Chains belt, at least symbolically, because there's someone that I know personally, and I mean, there's so many brothers and sisters that we've lost in this business due to struggle and adversity, but there was someone that I was in the car with, that I seen him go through some of the hardest times in his life, and he kept fighting. Yeah. And not only did he fight for himself, but he fought for his friends. This man was probably the only person in the world that could put the Break the Chains belt on. He was so big, he was massive. It was like 2 refrigerators standing side by side. But he was a teddy bear. Yeah. He was the kindest soul I've ever met, and he understood what the business meant. Yeah. He knew the responsibility he had when he got in the ring. Almost everyone he ever faced was smaller than him. Their life was in his hands, literally, and he never took a liberty. Yeah. He always protected them. Wow. Because it was about more than that. It was about brotherhood, and he stood by that. And that was my inspiration going into this after the conversation with Doc. Doc spent his entire life helping people overcome adversity, overcome trauma, overcome pain, overcome sorrow, and helps them celebrate accomplishment and greatness. Right?
I think even you had mentioned, even with your differences in certain aspects, you guys really came together and created a beautiful product. I mean, and something that's very meaningful for people.
Yeah, and it just came from a beautiful place, right? Like it was almost a naive love for pro wrestling between the two of us. We started trading stories about the AWA, or World Class Championship Wrestling, and our love for the Von Erichs and the Andersons, and just the things that we loved about wrestling that roped us into wrestling. And it was a great conversation about that. But as we got deeper into the philosophical and the spiritual aspect of this beautiful sport that a lot of people don't get to understand, if you've ever been around pro wrestlers, you hear the term brother a lot. We call each other brothers. Yeah. It's not something that we just say, right? It's supposed to mean something. There's weight to that. You know, we travel the roads together. We're in cars together. We've been stranded together. You know, we fly to different countries and sleep on each other's couches. The brotherhood of wrestling is a very beautiful thing, but with that brotherhood comes a lot of sacrifice. And who's going to understand that more than someone who's done it with you? You know, these guys travel the world. They leave their families behind in search for a dream. You know, for the love of the game.
Yeah.
And it could be as simple a dream as just making some kids in a crowd pop, just laugh, just clap, just have a good time, or wanting to headline Madison Square Garden.
Absolutely.
But I promise you that no matter what level you achieve, it's the same high.
Yeah.
You know, it's that beautiful struggle.
Yeah.
And that's the concept for the Break the Chains belt. It's really all about the beautiful struggle.
That's amazing. Well, as I said, it is a beautiful belt. We can tell a lot of work put into it, but even more than just the belt, a lot of work went into the behind the scenes and the meaning of it. And it's very exciting to kind of get that. We don't really see a lot of that in professional wrestling, where we get this intimate setting. We can sit down and we can kind of chat and see what goes into making the shows, making the belts, what it means to carry them. And I thank you for kind of putting it out there.
I appreciate it. You know, I think that what sets us apart from everyone else is that we're a very family-oriented unit, right?
Yeah.
And we perceive everything from what's best for the family, right? And we don't just do things just to do them. Like everything that we do, there's weight behind.
Yeah.
The matches that we put on, the even the venues that we pick. You know, like everything down to the minor detail, me and Doc scrutinize. Yeah. And sometimes fight over. But it's a beautiful thing. Yeah. And honestly, not just because it's our thing, but I think that pure Vanguard Wrestling might be the most beautiful indoctrination of the sport of wrestling that the world will ever see. And I just want you guys to hold on tight and take this ride with us, because I promise you it's going to be beautiful.